Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to some more Kyle is Famous. I'd like to apologize for last episode right off the bat. The game sound got a little out of control, but oh well. Don't know what I want to go for this time. I kind of want to see what's in the closet or in that locked room, but I don't know how to get in there. So we'll pick an outfit. Let's go with a suit of armor. Actually caused him to decide to wear a suit of armor, but it felt like the right thing to do. After much squeezing and sweating, Kyle managed to wrap the metal suit around his dumpy self. Okay. Now, so I've had this suit of armor on before, I think, and it caused me to slam. Oh wait, no. I wanted to go into the check the locked door. So if I've got a suit of armor on, I should be able to break through it. Kyle decided it would be best to try to force the door open with his face. Smashing his features in solid wood several minutes, Kyle gained short-term yeah. I did this last time, but I don't know how. What happens if I eat condiments? Kyle started to grab condiments from the fridge, squirting them into his mouth with both hands. The rage with ketchup and soy sauce and other items entered Kyle's mouth soon overrode his ability to swallow. Kyle spewed the excess condiments across the kitchen, covering the furniture and walls. Kyle continued till all the condiments had been emptied. Okay. What happens if I eat, like, everything? I wanted to access pantry, but oh, yeah, it's locked, I forgot. Go leave the apartment. Visit the tech store. Steal Techno Jim. Quickly before the attendant could acknowledge him, Kyle grabbed Techno Jim by the shoulders. Finding the Techno Jim's cardboard feet were bolted to the ground, Kyle started pulling upwards forcefully. After several tugs, Techno Jim broke free, leaving one of the legs behind. Kyle glanced at the attendant, who was staring bewildered, and ran outside. Okay. Alright, so I don't think anything. So Kyle approached. Is this just going to be the amnesia? Oh, okay. I can interview Techno Jim instead this time. Let's do that. Kyle roughly shoved Rachel out of her seat and placed Techno Jim in her seat. Hello, Techno Jim, said Kyle. I'm going to interview you today. This is going to be great with short-term memory loss. Kyle gasped. Techno Jim's hand tried to Kyle grasped Techno Jim's hand and tried to shake it, but instead tore off the cardboard frame. Kyle's producer, sensing viral media, pulled the bewildered Rachel out of the frame and motioned for the crew to go live. Cameramen moved, lights flashed, and suddenly the studio was on air. Hi, I'm Kyle, said Kyle, and tonight I'm going to interview a very special guest. He pointed at Techno Jim using the dismembered arm. Techno Jim started to smoke from the heat of the lights. Would you like to introduce yourself? Asked Kyle. Knowing Jim would probably not speak, Kyle took it upon himself to be his voice as well. Is he Southern? Hi, Kyle, he said, raising the pitch of his voice. My name's Rachel May, and I have a very special guest. Rachel's expression, confused, turned to shock. Well, Rachel, you look too thin and absolutely terrible. You should feel ugly. Kyle gave Jim a meaningful stare. Wow, Kyle, he said. I sure wish I could look like you. Techno Jim burst into flames. Instantaneously, the sprinkler system initiated. Curtains of water poured down from the rafters. Within seconds, the production equipment was doused in water. The set was soon burst with electrical fires. Kyle's crew abandoned their posts as cameramen and sound mixers to try to put the fires out. As the crew scrambled around the cameras continued to run. Kyle sat motionless, staring forward. Eventually, the fires were all put out. Kyle's producer shut off the broadcast, leaving Kyle's vacant stare as the final frame. Kyle's ratings skyrocketed. Techno Jim became a staple on the show, often ending up destroyed by the end of each episode. Although Rachel did not come back on the show, her cardboard portrayal did. Rachel was very popular. Interviewed Rachel. Alright, well, we got a new one. That was a good one. Okay. I'm gonna take a bite of my cosmic brownie here. I'm gonna go with Withered Away this time to see if I can do anything special with being a ghost. Decided to stay put, Wither Away. Kyle withered successfully and died. Shucks. Kyle, now a ghost, does not relieve him of his responsibilities. Okay. So, does this mean I can go into the closet? Yeah, float through as a ghost. Okay. Let's see what's behind this door. Kyle used his ghostly powers to walk straight through the door. Kyle found himself in a room he stashed the various items sent to him by fans. A sewing machine, supernatural artifact, laser claymore. I want the laser claymore. Expecting a battle, Kyle grabbed the laser claymore. Okay. Float through side door. Oh, that's the locked door. So can I hold on? We're gonna open the closet, get dressed in a slick suit. What happens if I cause her to be guilty and fight her with a claymore? It's supposed to start. Okay, here we go. Kyle pulled out his phone and dialed the police. I believe I found the criminal. Rachel began to run towards the exit. I trip her. I got the leg. Rachel crashed to the floor. Okay. Before a chance to react, figure burst through the. Oh no! I want to use my claymore. I can't use my claymore. The weapon clattered to the ground. Till there were feet. Yeah, that's upsetting. Guess Pierre Rachel so many times. Okay. Check the supernatural artifact. This is one of the many mysterious artifacts Kyle has been sent over the years. Let's smash it. Kyle began pounding the mysterious artifact with both fists. Within a few hours, it became dust. Ancient forces trapped in the artifact is released and turned Kyle into a lizard demon. Oh, okay. Kyle found himself in the room. He smashed various items sent him by fans. I guess we'll go back to the hallway and let's eat and see if anything happens with the okay, so I've eaten and I'm dressed. I don't have any questions. So what happens if I'm a lizard man? Kyle approached Rachel and smiled. Smiles turned to horror as she realized she was looking not at a human but at a lizard demon. Pandemonium ensued. Scripts were flying, crew members ran in all directions, lights were knocked over. As Kyle watched the chaos around him. What the heck? That's a typo. Kyle watched as the chaos around him, his lizard demon form enveloped his last shred of humanity. Kyle grew to a massive size. Within several minutes, he had demolished the now empty set. A local force of 5 spunky teenagers in brightly colored apparel arrived at the scene to fight Kyle. Is it Power Rangers? As the teenagers swung at him with their spunky individualized weapons, Kyle pushed him over with his foot. Kyle rampaged of his studio ruins Kyle's rampage of his studio ruins continued. But in another part of the city, a hero was rising up. In a dusty apartment on the top floor of an old skyscraper in the oldest part of town sat a large man named Frank. Oh God, what's Frank gonna do? Few people in the world knew that Frank existed. Fewer knew his name. Frank was watching the local news. A story about the studio rampage was playing. Quickly, Frank got up from his chair. He opened a small door hidden behind a poster on his wall. Inside was an unbelievable mound of fat-ridden foods, unrefrigerated and fairly rotten. What's he gonna do? Frank began to consume the mound at a frightening rate. His body began to puff. Frank expanded faster and faster with each minute he burst through the roof. Within minutes, Frank was a towering behemoth. He rolled across the city, rebounding off of buildings and getting cheers from onlookers below. Approaching Kyle, Frank gave a long, painful heave upwards into the sky. To Kyle, the sky turned black. He looked upwards to see a monstrous figure hurling towards him. And in a moment, Kyle was completely enveloped in rubbery fat, unable to move or make noise. Frank was quite tired and passed out where he lay. Several years went by as Frank slumbered. As Kyle was held in Frank's warm, fatty embrace, his humanity began to return. When the first winter came, Frank's body recycled his fat for resources. Over many months, he shrank in size. Eventually, Kyle was human and Frank was thinned. They both walked away from the scene as new men. Neither realized how much time had passed. So he overate a bunch of fat, basically turned into the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, enveloped me in the fat, and we both just kind of hung out until we were back to normal. Makes perfect sense. Oh, I want to know what this claymore does. So I want to gear up. I'm going to gear up this time. So we're going to get out of bed. We're going to put the suit of armor on. And then we're going to get the claymore. Okay. So I've got... Now I'm going to eat. Eat that. So we're going to leave the apartment and then we'll visit the neighbor. Scream and spin. Slowly, Kyle started to twirl around Gabby's door, arms outstretched. Tilted his neck upward and let loose a long, passionate, and meaningful scream. As Kyle continued to spin, Gabby shut the lock and locked her door as she did every time Kyle screamed outside her door. Eventually, Kyle ran out of breath and fell over. Kyle walked out into the middle of the road and took a... Okay. Yeah, I guess I don't know if this is gonna do anything. Okay, so I'm stopped being a ghost. I'm geared up for battle, but I don't know how to start a battle. Okay. Mild expression pendant Kyle Rachel were prompted to take this. Okay. Evening, stay up late for Kyle, introduce night. Okay. Okay, so we dive right in. I'm ready, Rachel, with a winning smile. In shock, Kyle realized he had never bothered to prepare the interview questions. Okay. Blame Rachel for the lack of notes, run away, play dead. Let's run away. Kyle ejected from his seat and ran out of the studio as quickly as possible. After it became apparent that Kyle was not coming back, the producer ended the episode with everybody went home. Oh, that's no fun. Man, I gotta either do some research or something. You guys know what I'm supposed to do with that claymore. Let me know, because I would really like to either implement that. I want to see what it does. So if you guys know, leave something in the comments. I'm gonna end this video here, and then the next recording probably won't be a little bit after, or it won't be a little bit, or a little bit, because I'm gonna do a couple other things in the meantime. So, if you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to see some more in the future, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and or how to use the claymore. And as always, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and everything in your life is going fantastic. Bye-bye.